Janice was babysitting for the Atkins family. The Atkins were just about her best customers, and she really enjoyed working for them. The two children, Jason and Adam, were generally well behaved, and they went to bed early without too much fuss. The Atkins house was very comfortable. They had a big color television set, and they never minded if she used the phone or raided the refrigerator. Though the Atkins often came home quite late, when they did, they added a generous bonus. All in all, they were a very good family to work for, except for one little thing. Their house was outside of town, and pretty isolated. Since there were no neighbors nearby, Janice felt that if anything happened and she screamed, there would be no one around to hear her. This sometimes made her just a bit nervous, as it did on this particular night. Janice shooed the kids up to bed early. They must have gone to sleep quickly, because after a few minutes there wasn't a sound from upstairs. She took a Coke from the refrigerator and a bag of potato chips from the kitchen cabinet, and got ready to settle down and watch television. But there was nothing on that she felt like watching, just a dull talk show and a couple of old horror films. Old or new, Janice didn't feel like watching horror films while sitting alone in the house that evening. She tried to call a couple of her friends, but nobody seemed to be home. Finally, she thought she was going to be reduced to doing her homework, which she had brought along, as she always did, though she rarely opened a book while babysitting. Just then the phone rang. She picked it up and said, "Atkins house." There was someone on the other end, since Janice could hear the person breathing, but whoever it was said nothing. After a second, Janice heard a click as the phone was hung up. Probably a wrong number, thought Janice, or a joke. Still, she didn't like it, and it made her feel even more nervous. After a few minutes, the phone rang again. This time, the caller spoke. A deep, ominous voice on the other end said, "Janice, I'm going to kill the Atkins' two children, and then I'm coming after you." The terrible voice sounded faintly, hauntingly familiar, though Janice could not quite recognize it. "This is some sort of joke, isn't it? Billy, Rusty, Tommy, it's one of you, isn't it? I don't think this is funny at all." "It's no joke, Janice." And then there was a click and a buzz. The caller had hung up. Janice laughed, but it was laughter at the edge of hysteria. "What a terrible, horrible, mean, sick trick," she said to herself. "That call really scared me." Janice checked the front and back doors, which were securely locked. Then she went around the house, pulling down all the shades. And then the phone rang again. "Locking the doors and pulling down the shades won't do you any good," said the familiar voice. "Who is this? Tell me who this is. You're scaring me." Click. Janice paced back and forth, chewing on her nails. She didn't know what to do now, and then she remembered being told that when you get a threatening or obscene phone call, you should contact the operator so that the call can be traced. Janice picked up the phone and dialed O. When the operator answered, she explained, as best she could, what had happened. "You stay right where you are, young lady. I'll see if I can have a tracer put on those calls." The operator sounded concerned but efficient. Now that somebody was doing something, Janice felt a bit relieved. At least, until the phone rang again. "It's too late, Janice. There's nothing you can do anymore. I've already killed the children. And now I'm coming to get you." Janice raced upstairs to the children's bedrooms. Jason and Adam were in their beds, and in the semi-darkness all seemed peaceful enough. As Janice looked closer, it seemed as if the boys were sleeping in rather odd positions. When she switched on the light, she found out why. They weren't sleeping at all. They were dead. Their throats had been cut. And then the phone rang again. "This is the operator." The voice was urgent now. "We've traced the calls you've been getting. You must leave the house at once. Take the children with you and run. Do you know where those calls are coming from?" "Where?" "They're coming from an extension phone right inside the house." Numbly, Janice hung up the phone. She heard a noise behind her and felt something cold and sharp being pressed against her throat.